joy.
Very good, Mike. We'll see you later on. Thank you very much.
18 minutes to 9 is the time. Good morning. Now, a third of UK travel agents and tour operators are in danger of going out of business. This is according to research for BBC Radio 4.
We found some high street operators had failed to keep up with technology and uncertainty over Brexit also a factor. Samantha Fenwick from You and Yours has more details.
Quite a few pictures of drinks on here.
Yes.
More drinks.
That was at Dave's cocktail bar.
Yeah.
It was a lovely holiday, wasn't it?
This was a family holiday which went horribly wrong. They paid for an all-inclusive break to Lanzarote, but while they were away, their tour operator Monarch Holidays went bust. The hotel hadn't been paid, and it was forcing the holidaymakers to pay up or leave.
There's people everywhere and there's quite a lot of shouting, raised voices
And a lot of upset.
the hotel manager wouldn't show his face.
No. I felt it was like they was putting the
Blame
onus
onto us,
on us.
Yeah.
I just felt belittled.
Yeah.
We all did.
But you'd already paid for it.
We'd already paid, we'd already paid
yeah.
on it, If we left without paying, that they would call the police in.
I bet you were terrified.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Many holiday companies are struggling. Research for Radio 4's You and Yours suggests a third of UK travel agents and a third of tour operators are in danger of going out of business.
The fundamental problem with the companies is that they have no financial substance at all, most of them.
But what about the millions of people that go on holiday every year without any problem? Isn't this a little bit alarmist?
Well, no, it's not, because not only has the financial position of the industry deteriorated markedly over the last 2 years, now we have the uncertainty of Brexit, and they need a steady diet of business to generate the income to stay in business.
ABTA, the largest trade association for UK tour operators and travel agents, doesn't agree with the research. It says the travel industry is very resilient and the number of insolvencies in recent years is historically low. But Jeremy Scott, who owns a chain of 4 travel agents in the south of England, says business can be tough.
Those that are struggling would be the traditional retail high street travel agents that have been around for a long while and haven't really kept up with modern technology and different market trends. We're bucking the trend, business is growing.
And if you do find yourself in trouble, the law says that if you've booked a package holiday with a UK tour operator or travel agent, you're financially covered. If you haven't gone on holiday yet, you'll get a full refund, and if you're on holiday, it shouldn't be disrupted and you shouldn't have to pay any unpaid bills. Unfortunately, the warning came too late for Karen and David Fulshaw and Kath and Neil Furness. They were forced to pay an extra £600 each for their holiday in Lanzarote. They got their money back, but it ruined their holiday.
Well, let's chat to Samantha now, who's with us. Hello there.
Morning.
So, on the one hand, someone hearing your report this morning might be thinking, OK, I better be careful. You know, if I go to a travel agent, 1 in 3, and then they might hear what ABTA says, and they say, let's repeat this, they say, we seriously question the reliability of the analysis. We don't believe that it reflects the status of the industry. Travel is a very resilient industry. Number of insolvencies in recent years is historically low. Those two things don't seem to sit comfortably together.
What I think you should do if you're a consumer looking to book a holiday now is do some checks. You know, make sure that it's got an ABTA bonding or one of the other travel association bonding, so that you can make sure that if you are stuck on holiday, like those people we saw just then, that you have got some cover. Because if you book it as separate entities, if you book your flight separately to your hotel, then you won't be covered. But the law says that if you book it as a package through a UK tour operator, then you should be covered financially.
One of the things we often talk about on this sofa, and I'm sure you do as well, is how we're in extraordinary times because of what's happening with Brexit. So when ABTA also says, has around 1,200 members, there have only been 13 insolvencies in the last 3 years, equivalent to 1%. It's saying the travel industry is very resilient traditionally. We are in extraordinary times. And Brexit appears to be having an impact, though it's very difficult to tangibly show what the impact is. When you've done your research and you've been speaking to people and looking at the travel industry, what are they saying is Brexit related and harmful?
The research suggests that these travel agents and operators have very low assets. to the point where sometimes you might be booking a holiday and the holiday might be more value than the actual assets that the company that you're booking it with. And so that means that if anything happens different to in the economy, then, you know, a puff of wind could blow them away. And if you look at what happened at the end of last year, Thomas Cook issued 2 profit warnings. Their share price went down by 30%. They said that people were holidaying in the UK because of beautiful weather and the World Cup, but also people were less likely to holiday in Europe because of the pound against the euro. You got less money for your pound.
And lots of people are attributing the lower pound against the euro to
because
Brexit
it's so volatile,
uncertainty.
it's going all over. What's also interesting is that there's been an increase in people going to places like Turkey or Egypt or Tunisia for their holidays, which don't have the euro.
What's the practical takeaway from this? Because you said a moment ago that people should check the financial situation of the company. I mean, how can you do that? And is the principle that stick with one of the big companies and that's okay? I don't know how you would know.
I think, well, you can look on Companies House at the accounts of a travel agent.
No,
it's
or a
not
travel
realistic, is it?
operator.
And you'd look at a number of figures and you wouldn't know.
The best thing to do is check that it is bonded, because as I said, you know, it is. If you book as a package, you have legal protection to protect the money and the money that you've spent on that holiday. You shouldn't have to pay out if a hotel manager comes up to you angrily and says you have to pay for the hotel. You shouldn't have to do that. It should be covered by the bonding that you've got, either through ABTA or through ATOL, if it's a package holiday that includes a flight, or one of the other industry bodies that represent the travel industry.
Samantha, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you. It is